Hey everyone, it's Amber Spotted Elk at the Paper Owl. Thank you so much for joining me today. We have 3 Bohemian style DIY projects in store today and I am so excited about these. They are super fun, super fresh, and super easy. So please like, comment, and subscribe. It really does help my channel out a lot. And without further ado, let's get started.
Hey guys! So I'm first going to show you the items that I'm going to be using in today's projects, and then I am going to step outside and spray paint these. I figure you guys don't need to watch me spray paint. So our first project I'm showing is these are a couple of scrap pieces of wood and then incense holders that I got at the Dollar Tree. This Stegosaurus dinosaur, super cute. And then also these bookends that I also got at the Dollar Tree. And I got those a little while ago. I'm not sure they're still carrying those, but I do know you can find them very inexpensive at multiple places. And then that wreath form as well. So I didn't want to, like I said, bore you guys with watching me spray paint. I know you guys know how to do that. So we're going to first start out with those scrap pieces of wood. I painted them black and then I spray painted the incense holders gold. So I'm going to start by putting the 2 pieces of wood together. I'm using E6000 and hot glue. I know I've talked about it before, but I like to put the E6000 in little lines, leaving gaps, and that's where the gaps are where I'm going to put the hot glue. I don't like mixing them together. I feel like you don't get as strong of a hold. So I'm just making sure that hot glue bonds for a moment. And then I'm going to do the same thing with these incense holders. I just kind of eyeball it, placing them on the wood, seeing how far I want them apart and all of that. So if you want to measure out, then absolutely. I use my mat a little bit to see if I've got them even. I do want to make sure they're even on the wood. Like I said, the E6000 and the glue. I thought these were little trinket trays at first, and then I saw that hole there and I wasn't sure what that was, and then I realized that it's for incense sticks. So these were over in like the candles and all of that stuff at my Dollar Tree. So but they have those cute little hands on them. I thought this was adorable, super bohemian looking. So I absolutely love that. I did end up taking some of the spackling from the Dollar Tree to fill in those holes, and then I just touched it up with a little bit of the gold paint. I don't know why I didn't think of that before, but just as a heads up for you guys, that's what I recommend doing, is just putting a little bit of the light spackling in there. Like I said, you can always just put like a little dollop of hot glue there and wipe away the extra to then paint over, and that'll fill in the hole, just as well if you don't have the spackling on hand. But they do sell it at the Dollar Tree, and I recommend picking it up if you're doing any of these projects. It really works well at hiding some of those seams. I was going to put just like one of the picture frame holders that you can get at the Dollar Tree, but I decided I wanted to go with the twine instead. I just like that look a little. I feel like it gave it a little bit more of a finished look. So, but if you don't like the twine, then you can absolutely do a picture hanging attachment at the back of this, and I am going to be using this as a necklace and bracelet holder. If you do decide to put the picture hanging attachment or some other attachment on there, then you could use this possibly for like light jackets or sweaters and something like that. Really, the sky's the limit with what you want to hang on here, depending on how you want to place it on your wall. So just keep that in mind, that there are some different options available to you with that. So I just finished putting that twine on there and it turned out lovely. I love it. So the Stegosaurus, sadly, we are chopping him in half. I'm using this saw from the Dollar Tree to get started. I didn't want to have to kind of jab at it with my scissors, so I had the saw in hand and just thought that would be a little bit easier to at least get started. And then I was able to cut through it with my scissors pretty easily. There was a couple little parts right there where I did use my wire cutters, and then I just kind of cleaned up the edges. So again, I did spray paint this and didn't think you guys needed to see that. So I spray painted our Stegosaurus gold and our bookends black. And then I did end up going over the black spray paint with some matte black paint, just the Waverly ink paint. I just liked the matte look better, and I didn't have any matte spray paint, but I knew that would kind of help give better coverage. So I'm just deciding where I'm going to be placing our Stegosaurus on the bookends. And just a little word of advice, I made this mistake and I didn't want you guys to. I put the hot glue and the E6000 on there, and then when I went back, it wasn't holding the Stegosaurus very well. So what I ended up doing is actually plucking those off of there, which was pretty easily done. I put some paper towels inside of the hollow Stegosaurus and then just put a piece of paper on top of that, and that gave it more of a grip to hang on to the bookends. So that's something I recommend doing just to get a much stronger, sturdier hold. Now, it did hold with the hot glue and the E6000 that I placed on there, but like I said, it wasn't very sturdy. It felt like if, it got bumped or fell off the bookshelf or something, that Stegosaurus was going to come right off. And so I don't like the thought of that happening just because if it happened while someone was over, I would just feel so embarrassed that I made this project that's just like falling apart at someone grabbing a book from the bookends. So that's what I recommend doing, just to give it a sturdier hold, just so you guys know. But I absolutely love the way these turned out. They're super cute. I did get the Stegosaurus at the Dollar Tree. They had other dinosaurs. They had some other animals. This is the one that I liked. So for some reason, the gold paint wasn't holding as well as I'd like either. I did end up putting a little bit of Mod Podge on the Stegosaurus just to make sure the paint held, just FYI. So next I've got this jute cord, our wreath form, and then that luau skirt from the Dollar Tree. So this wreath form, I am taking it apart and using each individual circle in this. So if you wanted to make these larger, you could definitely use like the 18-inch wreath form. I'm using my wire cutters to take the pieces that's connecting these off. Now, some of these were a little bit harder and some of them were a little bit easier. Personal preference. I just wanted to make sure that I got that whole little piece off of there for what we're doing. But if you needed to just cut it and there's a little bit of a jagged edge there, I think that's fine. And then the jute I did get from Hobby Lobby on sale. You can get it for anywhere between $2-3 a roll, and it actually lasts a really long time. So, but you could absolutely use like the yarn that the Dollar Tree is carrying now. They have some super cute yarn, and they actually have some really nice colors as well. So that is always an option. Or you could make this all with just the hula skirt if you wanted. Like I said, guys, I'm just here for inspiration. Please, feel free to make these projects your own and things that you like. So what I'm doing is it's a lark's head knot is what it's called in macrame. And basically I'm just it's kind of like the start of a slip knot, and just wrapping it around and gluing it down. And I continue to do this. This is the smallest ring, so this one does not take it very long. And what I'm doing with that raffia is going around and making sure that you're not able to see through it when you look at it. So I'm just trying to loop it around and get it as close next to the previous loop as possible to make sure there aren't any gaps. And you can always go back and add a little bit more if you end up seeing a gap that you didn't see before. So what I'm doing now is deciding what design I want to put on here. And so I start my raffia and then continue going and then add the jute on part of it as part of the design. And these are just the designs that I decided to make. Again, whatever design you want to make with these, I'm sure it's going to look absolutely gorgeous. So I really like the way that these turned out. I'm not going to show you every single one. Obviously, after you see me looping these around so many times, you can understand how to do it. So I don't want to completely bore you. So basically, I do this with all three and then make a different design with the jute in every single one of them. And then I did decide to put these on one of those large bamboo skewers that the Dollar Tree had. And I just cut off the pointy end on that one side and then used twine to hang it up. And then I put all three of these on there. So you don't have to do that. You could hang all three of these individually just by their own string instead of attaching them to that bamboo skewer. Oh my goodness, I can't speak. So however you like the way it looks better, then just go with that. This is just an idea that I had and like how it turned out. So so you can see I'm putting this jute cord on there now, and I'm just looping it around. Nothing crazy, putting hot glue on every single one, just because as you start going around with the circle, the jute obviously wants to start slipping more and more. So I definitely recommend putting the hot glue on every single loop there, and just making sure I get all of that wire rim covered. So but I absolutely love the way these turned out. They're super cute, super easy, so inexpensive. So you can see this design that I have for the second one that I'm doing. And again, whatever design you want to do, if you want to do all raffia, you could even do all jute if you wanted to. However you want to do it, whatever speaks to you, whatever works well for your decor, all of that good stuff. So again, just making loops with the raffia and going around. Thank you so much for tuning in, you guys. I am super excited to be doing some boho designs today. I haven't done any of those yet on my channel, and I just kind of want to branch out between all different kinds of decor to give you guys some different ideas. I know not everyone loves farmhouse, not everyone loves modern, not everyone loves, so here are the finished bookends. I absolutely love the way these turned out. Like, just love them. I'm super excited to put these to use on my son's bookshelf. I couldn't be happier with these. So adorable. And then also we've got our finished necklace holder, bracelet holder, whatever you want to hang on your coats, jackets, however you want to do it. But you can see I filled in those holes, so you can still tell there was like a little bit of a hole there, but it's not this gaping hole left. And then finally you can see our finished wall hanging piece. So you can see I put it on that bamboo skewer and hung it up with some twine. Super easy, super simple. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and then let me know which one of these was your favorite. Thanks for watching, and happy crafting.